Hi, I'm Shane MacDermott. I'm here with Conquest Academy graduate Toby Sibbick, who now is a professional footballer playing at Hearts. Hi, Toby. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Pleasure to have you on board today. Thanks very much for giving us your time.
No worries.
So essentially, there's no feel-good stories at the moment, are there? So you've got everywhere you look, news, Twitter, social media. It's all coronavirus, death tolls, people losing their jobs, companies going under and stuff. But your stories are really inspiring and feel-good ones, especially for young up-and-coming footballers.
Um, yeah, I think as a player growing up, especially at the ages 7 to 12, you don't really take football too serious. You play it because it's a hobby and stuff, but you obviously have a local like a team that you support and you follow growing up. And my team was Chelsea, so I always used to follow them. But you never really thought about the rewards of being a professional footballer until you start getting to that age where you realize that football is actually a serious sport and you can do really well in it. And I think I only realized that when I was about 14 years of age, and that's when I got my first trial.
What are your first experiences, your first memories of football when you were really young?
Um, my first experience was my dad taking me to a local team, like about 5 minute walk from here, from my house in Felton. Took me to a local team and just started playing from there really for enjoyment and stuff. Met new people, met new friends, and yeah, we had a good team from a young age, and we kept progressing. So that's my first real memories to be.
Obviously, being West London boys, you're Felton based. I was Isleworth. The Conquest boys grew up in Witton. You could easily fall back in the day, fall into bad habits, bad crowds, but you obviously stuck with the football and stuff, and that gave you a focus and a bit of motivation.
Yeah, I think that's courtesy to my mum and dad as well because they've always kept me level-headed. Um, they used to drive me up and down the country to play football because they knew that's what I loved doing. So, and they always used to be there every single game. I can't really remember. I can't count on one hand the amount of games that my dad's missed because he's there almost all the time. So, I appreciate my family for that, and they played a massive part for me to get to where I am today.
Obviously, you speak about family and stuff. Going on to Conquest, what does Conquest Academy mean to you? Because they obviously played a big part in your journey as well.
Yeah, I think they played a massive part. Growing up and stuff, like when I was in school, when you're in year 11, you're pushing for a scholarship because it's when people have scholarships and you're trialing out for under 18 academies, it's tough because their squad's always full. And I think I came to Conquest at the right time because I've been at Sunday League teams where the manager's not pushing me on. If I'm getting scouted, they're not trying to push me on. They're keeping me back and they're not telling me. Um, had a few promises in the past, and when the opportunity at Conquest came, I was still doubting myself because of how things have turned out before. But decided that I'll give it a shot, and I gave it a shot. And Connor promised me something, and he kept that promise. And we played AFC Wimbledon, and that's where I got picked up. So I'm forever grateful for that.
Before we get on to Wimbledon and stuff, Connor was doing one of his Instagram lives recently, and he was saying how you had a lot of doubters, you had a lot of people saying you'll never make it and stuff. How do you use that in a way where it gives you the fire in the belly? Because you could easily let it get to you and get you down, but you obviously use it as a motivator.
Yeah, I think especially in school, growing up, when you've got trials and stuff at academies and you don't get in, people at school can find out about it, and then they can say, "Oh, you're not good enough because you haven't got signed here." But that's not always the case. It's probably you don't fit their profile, or they like you as a player, but there's not enough room for you to sign. So I always found the positives out of it, and I just blocked them out, and I just kept believing in myself, and I got that opportunity, and I'm luckily I took it.
You say about self-belief. Is that one of the biggest tips you'd give to any young aspiring footballers?
Yeah, I think so, because if you don't believe in yourself, then why are you doing it in the first place? So I think you have to believe in your ability and never doubt yourself and see how far you can go, because if you put your mind to things, you can achieve anything in life.
And going back to obviously when you signed for Wimbledon and stuff, it would have been obviously nice to be nice and local. But how big a step up was that for you? Because I imagine there must be a big gap between grassroots football and then League One.
Yeah, so when I first signed my scholarship, I was on trial for about 6 weeks or whatever. signed my scholarship, and from training to like 2 or 3 times a week to actually training every single day with the college scheme and stuff as a scholarship, you've got to adapt. At the start, you find it a bit daunting, a bit tough, but as you get used to it, you just take it in your stride and take things how they go. And you're doing what you love, really, playing football every single day. So I'm forever grateful for those situations. And yeah, the step from grassroots to League One it's a big step, because my journey it sort of happened quite quick. It didn't happen like gradually, where I've been at academy from a young age. As well, I got signed at 16. I made my debut at 17. So like it was a quick jump, and it felt good at the time, and it still feels good to this day.
Obviously, you went from playing at Wimbledon very regularly in League One and then in the Championship with Barnsley. So obviously you've gone on that upward curve, but how was that, like Championship football, even to League One? Even that's quite a big step.
Yeah, I think that's an even bigger step, because in League One, I feel like if you make a mistake or whatever, you don't get as punished as much. But Championship, literally, if you make 2 mistakes in a game, the quality in the Championship strikers, they can score 2 goals, and that's the game buried. So your focus in the Championship has to be a lot higher than it is. The game can go any way. Like the Championship's such an unpredictable league, and I think that's what makes it one of the greatest leagues in the world. Because it's so unpredictable, the pace of the football is always fast, and every team's always got a high stake to play for.
You're obviously living your dream being a pro footballer, but there's things that happen which people don't tell you about at a young age. I imagine adapting to life, you're a London boy, so Wimbledon would have been quite an easy stepping stone respectively. But then you go to
Yeah.
Barnsley, which is quite different, and then now you're up in Scotland, which is a lot different, even just language barrier-wise, words people use. How have you found adapting to life in new places?
I feel like when I first got that call from Barnsley, my mum's first concern was, all right, cool, you're going to be living by yourself. But that's just the mother nature of mums. They always want to look out for their children. So I knew that had to come, like me living by myself. I had to make myself food, stuff like that. That really I never had to do before, which was given to me at home. But it was a challenge that I wanted to live up to, like living by myself. If I have touch wood, I have a good career, but let's say, for example, if it didn't happen then, it could have happened in the future. So I feel like the earlier I got it done, the better, really. So yeah, it's just all about adapting, really. And I feel like I adapted well within living by myself and doing things by myself and just seeing where it goes.
We've spoken about how Connor showed lots of belief with you during your Conquest days when he signed you and he gave you promises. Another person in your career who's shown you a lot of belief is Daniel Stendhal. He obviously took you to Barnsley, and then when he left Barnsley to go to Hearts, he's taken you down on loan. How special is it to you to have a gaffer of his experience and his football knowledge obviously take a lot of time in your career?
Yeah, for me, I think like everyone from the football world, like looking in and can see that the relationship that me and him have. At Barnsley, when he was here, I played every game under him, and he showed great faith in me as a player. And for any young player, I think for any player, in fact, anyway, I think you need that faith as a player, that the manager trusts you in whatever position that you play in, and he gave me that faith. When he left, I played one game under the new manager, and then I didn't really have a look in since then. So when January came, I spoke to Barnsley and I was like, listen, if I'm not playing here, I want to go out on loan. And they said, all right, cool, that's fair enough. You're not playing here, so you can go get experience in game time somewhere else. And the club that showed interest was Hearts, and it was with Daniel Stendhal, and I couldn't turn down the opportunity with working with him again, because he showed great belief in me, in bringing me to Barnsley and playing in the Championship, and I just wanted to repay that faith back into him.
And obviously, similar to how we saw Connor putting Harry through his paces on Instagram Live, Daniel's got that high press German style, looking for big work rate. How do you find that in your fitness and stuff?
Yeah, it's good. I think I've always been a fit boy anyway. I think I can run and stuff. So when he's asked me to play midfield, I like covering ground. I like tackling people. So feel like I suited the style of play well. And yeah, when that opportunity came again, I just couldn't turn it down. I wanted to go, so it happened as soon as I found out about it, really.
Obviously, there'll be a lot of people watching who are isolating just like the rest of us. How's isolation affected you as a professional footballer?
It's tough, because I speak to my friends who are fellow pros as well, and we just want to be out there playing football. By yourself, you can only do so much. Like you can go out for runs and stuff. You can do a little bit of ball work, but it's not the same as going into training every day, because when you're training with other people, you're constantly improving your first touch and your thought processes. So yeah, it is tough because you're limited what you can do. But I think at the moment it's just one of those things that we just have to get through, and hopefully when all of this gets better, we can start doing what we love again.
What's your daily routine at the moment? How many sort of sessions a day are you doing? Are you still eating healthily? What type of thing are you getting up to?
Yeah, I still eat healthy. My mum makes sure that we have good dinners and stuff. Like my family's not the type to eat unhealthy. Um, you can 2 sessions a day, one running, like one like let's say you can do at home, like a little circuit or whatever, like core press ups, up a bit of upper body, lower body and stuff. But yeah, and then after that, like in between, you can play like PlayStation or whatever. But after the workouts and stuff, you just literally play PlayStation with your friends, and like it gets a bit repetitive. So in that way, it gets a bit boring. But that's the only thing we can do right now. So I don't see why not.
And just before isolation came around, you'd a couple of back-to-back starts and stuff, and that big win against Rangers and playing against Jermain Defoe. Is that
Yeah.
surreal for you playing against? I imagine Jermain would have been someone you looked at on TV as a kid and thought, "Oh, I love the way he plays football and stuff."
Yeah. Growing up, watching the Premier League and stuff, the best league in the world. Even playing with Stephen Naismith, like it just when I was growing up, watching him on Match of the Day, um, it's crazy to be playing in the same team as him. Like it's just weird experience, and it's a good one as well, because obviously they're pros that you look up to with their sort of experience and stuff. Jermain Defoe, everyone who's watched the Premier League knows his quality in front of goal, and even Steven Gerrard being Rangers manager and just being there, and he's just out there watching the pit, like watching the game go on from the side. Yeah, it's just a crazy experience. But as a footballer, you just take those things in, and you just have to attack it with confidence.
I know you're only 20, but you're still a role model to a lot of young people, especially people at Conquest, people who live in our area and things like that. How important is football and sport in general in terms of just for young people?
Yeah, I feel like sport in itself is a beautiful thing, whatever sport it is, because it can make people in the community come closer. It helps you stay fit and healthy and stuff. So I feel like sport in itself is a great thing, because it's just a hobby that you can do on the weekends, and it can almost like get you out of trouble and stuff because you're so focused on the sport and doing well. So yeah, just like I said, sport is just amazing, really.
So just to finish off, we'll do a quick fire 5 questions. Just say the first
Yeah,
one that comes to your head. Who's your biggest football inspiration and why?
John Terry, because growing up I supported Chelsea, of course, and he was Chelsea captain, and he won many things in his career, and he's just a legend and a leader. So I feel like he's my football inspiration.
Who's the best player you've ever played with?
Best player I played with is Alex Mowatt at Barnsley. Technically, he's he's a joke. Like things he does in training and the matches and stuff, you just sit back and you just applaud it.
What's your favourite cheat meal?
Oh, my favorite cheat meal. I'll probably say Five Guys. Five Guys. Yeah.
If you weren't a footballer, what would you be?
See, that's a tough question because I've never really thought about that. It sounds weird, but um, I think I have to do something within sport and football. So maybe if it's like a coach, I think I'll be a coach.
If there was going to be a film about your life, who would play you?
That is a good question. That is a great question. Um, I'm not too sure, you know. I'm not too sure. That is a good question. I think I'll like the legend Will Smith to play me as a character.
Toby, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on with us.
Cheers. Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of your career.
Thank you.